This was scheduled for 10 rounds. Our opening bout here at DNG Promotions from Thunder Studios in Long Beach. Mike Rodriguez, my partner tonight. Mike, you said you were talking with DJ. You like his demeanor, but what's Top Rank say about him?
They're very excited. I had a chance to talk to Brad Goodman, Bruce Trampler, who made the trip. I had a chance to talk to Brandon as well. I actually worked Brandon's last fight. He's a very, very willing fighter. But he's been matched really tough, and these first couple of rounds are going to be very interesting to me.
Brandon Valdez, a good opponent for a young fighter, but you cannot sleep on him. You have to take him serious.
Yes, because if you look at the record of the fighters that he's fought, he's never been matched easy. He started off as kind of a prospect, but here's the thing. Even in the fight that he lost last time, he was in that fight until he got a little bit tired.
Valdez, born in Colombia, now lives in Southern California. And as he stepped up in competition, he'll take on anybody, but the word on him is he's a brawler. So his last fight, Dominic Valle went the distance. He's lost his last three against guys who had a combined record of 41-1, and the one loss was Ruben Villa. So it's been tough for him, but he knows his role. He goes and he makes it tough for everybody.
Yeah, he doesn't say no. He knows that he's just this is an opportunity. I'm not going to say he's going to fight for a world title if he wins the next two fights, but it puts him in fights, and this is how he makes a living. This is how he lives in the United States, and he probably sends money back to Colombia.
Now, this is a good test for him because his only time he's ever been stopped was by Robeisy Ramirez back in the bubble. I mean, that's always tough for anybody.
I mean, and there's another name. We keep naming these names that he's fought, and to have a 13-6 record is still very respectable as he rolls under and lands a nice little left hook.
DJ coming off a TKO victory, a fourth rounder in April of this year. It's only a second fight of 2025. And as he's climbing the ladder and he's moving up, I'm pretty sure it's getting harder to find him quality opponents that can give you the professional rounds.
Well, the last guy he fought, Hugo Castaneda, was 15-0, so that was kind of a fight of two prospects.
And he took care of business in the fourth round stoppage in a fight that was at the Palms in Las Vegas.
One of the things that I see very early is something Valdez, even though he lands the right hand, sometimes, Beto, he accepts getting hit just to land one.
Yeah.
When you step up against better competition, you can't get away with that for too long.
And he will definitely trade with you. He's not going to run it on. Here he is, landing a couple of shots upstairs, and DJ, who rolls with one of the punches.
He landed a really good right hand to the temple, and now he's a very dangerous guy.
Valdez going upstairs, landing big shot. DJ trying to slip him, but he's on the rope. Valdez has found a home for that right hook. Another right hook from Valdez in the green. Overhand right from the Colombia. DJ getting tapped in the corner, and Valdez is jumping all over him. What a round for Brandon Valdez, as DJ Zamora just trying to survive the first round. 10 seconds to go. Valdez doesn't care about your undefeated record, DJ.
Yes, and let's hope he didn't punch himself out, but he was landing with 8 or 9 right hand. Very good round for Valdez.
Heck of a round, and that's the most that DJ's ever been hit like that.
Probably, he got hit in the last minute of that round, probably more than he's been hit temple. As DJ was doing really good at slipping and rolling underneath, but he got caught in a straight line at some point. He was keeping his range, and then you're going to see a good right hand that kind of right there that kind of buzzed the tower a little bit. He got a little stiff knee, and one thing about Valdez, he's not going to let you off the hook because sometimes those opportunities are few and far between for him.
All right, so Zamora survived the onslaught at the end of the first round, and this is how Top Rank does it. They match their guys up nicely, and you test them to see what kind of passing grade you're going to give them. So now it's up to Zamora to come back and control this round.
And I think what he needs to do is he needs to punch in range. I think he fell over a couple of times, and a guy like Valdez that's a little shorter, but Valdez actually has longer reach than him.
Yeah, it was 71-68 reach advantage for Brandon Valdez in green.
One thing I like that Valdez is doing is he's bending at the waist, and he's not coming in a straight line. That's where I've seen him in several other fights. That's where he tends to get in trouble, like I mentioned earlier, where he accepts getting hit.
So DJ from Las Vegas, the great work he's done over his amateur career and as a professional here now in fight number 17. I've heard his name for a couple of years and has been coming up nicely. And this is exactly where he should be.
This is a really good fight. I loved it, the fact that we're opening the night with this fight. It kind of sets the tone for everything else, and it actually will inspire the other fighters in the back that they have to perform tonight, like these two
Absolutely.
guys are doing. Now, obviously, it looks like DJ has recovered a little bit, even though he did take a good left hook. And I like the fact that Valdez is not punching himself out. Now, whether he's a little tired from the last round, but he's a professional, and he knows this is a 10-round fight.
Right. He knows how to work, he knows the distance, and this is where, you know, if you listen to Bob Arum or Bruce Trampler, Brad Goodman, the people who run Top Rank, it's about bringing up a fighter, but you have to also recognize how old they are, right? And he's a young 22. He's had a lot of fights, but you feed him the first couple, and every fight is a step up. Castaneda was a good step up, and he took care of business. Valdez is going to be that rugged fighter, Colombian. Not much technique to Valdez, but what are you going to do? Can you outbox him?
Yeah, and he's doing a good job this round. I think Valdez gets tagged as a brawler a little bit, but if you watch certain spurts, when he gets behind his jab, he does very well, just like he did with that 1-2. DJ's having a little trouble finding him because every time he comes in to try to commit to a punch, he's getting hit with something.
Like that. A good right hand countered by the Colombian Brandon Valdez.
I like Valdez's physicality, and I like right now DJ's punching at range. And you know me, Beto, I like fighters that punch at range. God gave you certain gifts, and if he gives you that gift, you have to use it. But the one thing he's doing, if you get caught with that right hand, is he's moving in a straight line backwards.
This was scheduled for 10. It's starting to heat up. A good one, back and forth.
That was a close round. And I'll be real interested down the road to see who they gave that round to. Beto and the DJ's already off to a good start tonight.
Shake it.
And here you see DJ, he wants to stay away from those ropes because every time he gets on those ropes, he ends up catching something that he does that I guarantee you his trainer, Kay Corona, does not want him to catch. But he did a better job of staying at range, but he's still moving to me in a little bit of a straight line, Beto. And if you notice, he's getting a little tall, and that's why he keeps getting hit with that right hand.
The DJ likes the song live. He's going to keep going while the music, while the jam is going.
Yeah, maybe they'll find a little bit of rhythm.
There you go, Ray.
Time in.
You don't want to be the DJ that gets in trouble.
Ray Armendariz must be not a fan of Shake It.
Because Brandon Valdez wants to shake that right hand. That's a good left hand by DJ Zamora on the body. I like that. Good lead left.
The one thing he's not doing, though, he's not double jabbing. Everything is one shot, if you notice right now.
One shot.
Yeah, DJ's throwing just one shot at a time. And I think if he doubled up his jab and pushed Valdez back a little. Valdez does not fight that great going backwards. If Valdez has a good left hook to the body. And if you can see if DJ lands that double jab, he's gonna bump Valdez off his spot, and then he's gonna be able to move up on him more effective, just like he did right there with that quick 1-2.
Well, we talked about in the open mic that, you know, you have your young prospects, is what TMG is about, giving young prospects an opportunity. But these opponents, for lack of a better term, right? They're on the B side. They're not the ones that are selling the tickets. But these guys have a lot to lose as well and a lot to gain. Because if Valdez gets another loss, you get into that, is the commission going to approve some of your fights? If he wins, now it's like, uh-oh, wait a minute, can this guy make him another run? Not to be a champion, but more of, hey, I can go and fight another undefeated guy and maybe take their own.
Yeah, and then you can be in another 10-round fight. And like guys like this that you like to call the old school term, kind of trial horses,
Yeah.
journeyman. I don't like the word journeyman.
Nah, you know, like, oh,
He landed a really good
Valdez
left
lands it, buckles the knees of DJ Zamora again.
Leg slash heads.
Southpaw clash.
And that's
Oh, and Zamora's cut above the right eyebrow. That's a nasty cut, Mike.
yes, and that's one of the things that
Got a cut right here over the right eye. I'm gonna let it continue. You guys see it? Can you continue? Right now? Go over there. Over there. Watch the head. Cuidado con la cabeza, okay? Cuidado con la cabeza. Time in.
And here's the replay. That
And as
clash.
you can see, it's accidental. Both guys coming together, which will happen after Valdez landed that. And there it is, right
Yeah,
there.
just accidental. Good job by our replay crew getting that. And Valdez jumps on it right away. Upstairs, Valdez working Zamora, the Colombian in green, and now you see Zamora, Mike, that right eye, he has it with his closing. The blood is affecting his eye. That got to sting.
And here's what else it's doing. It's inspired Valdez even more. When you see your opponent bleeding,
Time. Right step back.
And it's going to go to the doctor, check it out.
Stop.
now what's going to happen right now?
Daniel Diaz and James Brown, the doctors. Is Daniel Diaz coming?
Can't see.
They're going to take a look at that.
Keep him right here, Doc. Keep him right here. You let him continue? Right. Stay right here. Stay right. Allá. Quédese allá.
Here's that clash. And it was an accidental, happened under 4 rounds, Mike. That's big. Why?
Well, it's because it's under 4 rounds, and if he complains about any kind of vision,
Let's go.
It'll be a no contest.
it would be a no contest.
This is now, if you're in the corner of Valdez, you got to tell him to jump on him, right?
You do, and if you're in the corner, of DJ, there's some strategic things that I've had to do when I worked with Callan Walsh when he was cut real bad. We knew he was winning the fight, and we got him through the 4th round, and as soon as the 5th round started, he couldn't see him. We ended up winning a technical decision.
But that's because it went past 4 rounds, you go to the scorecards. Under 4, it'll be a no contest.
It's going to be real interesting to see the work that they do in DJ's corner this round to see how it affects that 4th round, if it even gets to the 4th round. But it looks like it's okay right now, other than the fact he's having trouble seeing.
Daniel Zamora, Emmanuel Savoy, and Kay Caroma have some work to do in the corner of DJ Zamora. So right now, what should they be doing? The cut is above the eyebrow.
So the problem with the cut above the eyebrow is that the blood's going to go into the eye. And here we go. You got DJ trying to fight at range, and just right there you can see that they clash heads, because Valdez is definitely trying to fight on the inside as well. Valdez landed some good shots after the cut. He used that as an opportunity to kind of smell blood in the water on the war machine to provide some war himself.
All right, so right now I see them putting the Q-tip right on that cut.
Yes.
And it's an angled cut. So you're putting Vaseline in. What are you doing?
Yes, you're applying your cut medicine. You're most likely your adrenaline 1 in 1,000. But I like what the cut man did there, because there's also some swelling under the eye. He had a cold press on an end swell that was going to try to alleviate some of that swelling as well, because you do not want the swelling and the cut to connect.
All right, so the bleeding has stopped. Good job by the corner stopping the bleeding, and we're in the 4th round.
Now, if you notice, Beto, when that round started, and obviously probably from some instructions that Valdez got from trainer Javier Capatillo, they told him, get on him.
Yeah, he looked like he was shut out of a cannon.
Literally, the ref had to stop him. So, because it's a 10-rounder, DJ just needs to remain composed to stay in the fight. He can work his way back into the fight, and doing just like that by throwing more than one punch, and those combinations are going to keep Valdez at bay. And Valdez may run into something because he's so anxious to come in.
Good job by the corner of Zamora. There's no blood so far through the first 40 seconds of the round.
No, it wasn't a big cut. I think it irritated his eye to sometimes even the glove, even though the cut's not bad, it feels worse than it is.
But it's also something for a young fighter who's never been cut like that and had to go through that adversity, that you now get tested in more ways than one. Right hand from Valdez, an uppercut. Zamora trying to hold on, does it, trying to fight off the ropes, finally does, as he holds on to Valdez in green. And Jorge Capatillo, Javier Capatillo, is loving what he sees from Brandon Valdez.
If you notice, the one thing that I don't like what Valdez is doing, when he opens up, his punches are getting just a little bit wider, and a precision puncher like DJ may be able to turn the tide by catching something, but he cannot stop that right hand right now.
Stop.
holding on anytime they're close in the corner.
He's not as comfortable on the inside as Valdez is. And there's another right hand. You can't miss with that right hand.
It's been flush all night long for Brandon Valdez. That overhand right connected against the right side of the southpaw. DJ Zamora, who's undefeated, 16-0.
And if you notice, Valdez is throwing kind of a looping jab now that's almost a half hook. He's trying to hit the top part of that eye. And that's smart.
Yeah. Like you want to cut it up.
Absolutely.
Less than a minute to go in round number 4.
See, and that's where Valdez gets himself into trouble. He reaches with the jab. He doesn't touch him with the jab. He doesn't touch him with the right. And then he's defensively vulnerable.
Has DJ landed anything to make Valdez think, I don't want to get too close?
No, you can kind of tell right now by Valdez's posture. He's kind of walking through his power because he's having so much success with that right hand.
Good left is landed by Zamora with 30 seconds to go.
I'm going to tell you something. Valdez, he's no defensive wizard. Nobody's ever going to get him confused with Pernell Whitaker. But he's bending enough at the waist and bending his knees that's keeping his head offline and off level. And that's preventing DJ from squaring him up, and DJ has not squared him up yet.
10 seconds, guys. Let's take them those.
There's another left hook. He's a very physical fighter.
Absolutely. Coming in, attacking the 15-6 Colombian Brandon Valdez. And we go to the 5th round.
And here you see DJ Zamora trying to punch at range, and he does good right there. Here's where he gets himself into trouble because Valdez is a very physical two-handed fighter. His technique is not textbook, but sometimes being a little bit awkward really provides your opponent with some distress right there because he's using two hands. And you can see the cut opened up a little bit, and they're doing a good job in the corner. They're doing some of those same things. I think it's bothering him more as irritation in his eye rather than the cut itself.
Fifth round of action coming your way. Beth Duran and Mike Rodriguez with you on Millions.co. And if you love this fight, you can tip the fighters. That's right. You can now tip the fighter if you like what you see on Millions.co.
Can they tip the commentators?
We'll keep it up, Mike. You're going to get some money coming your way soon. So now, Mike, because we're in the 5th round, if it were to be stopped, what happens?
Well, as soon as the bell rings for that 5th round, this is a legal fight, which means this round will be scored whether it lasts 10 seconds or the whole thing or 2 minutes.
So there has to be a decision.
Yes, they would go to the scorecards if he was unable to continue because of that cut. Now, I like what DJ's doing this round. He's being a lot more authoritative with his lead hand, his jab, and he's pushing Valdez back. Kay Coroma, who has an excellent pedigree as a trainer both at the amateur and Olympic level and the professional level, obviously told him to start being a little more assertive with his jab, and it's breaking the rhythm of Valdez as he lost his balance a little bit.
Different approach for Zamora this round. He's in the middle of the ring. We haven't seen much of that tonight.
Yes, I think he knows he needs to stand his ground because he's giving up too much in points and he's taking too much punishment as he moves back toward the ropes.
Coming up next, Trinidad Vargas and Dominic Gonzalez. 13 fights for you here on Millions.co at DMG Promotions in Long Beach at the fantastic Thunder Studios.
And they almost slammed heads once again, even though Valdez was able to get a short right hand. But as you can see, DJ is starting to assert himself a little bit with that jab. I don't know if Valdez is a little tired, but if you notice, Valdez is starting to pop upright just a little bit more, and he's lost that bend in his knees and the bend in his waist.
Valdez, remember, he used to train with Manny Robles and Estrellita back in the day. We had to rock him when he first came from Colombia, and he was Oscar Valdez's sparring partner. And he would just, they had to tell him, hey, we're sparring, we're not fighting tonight. He has one speed, Mike.
Yeah, some guys are just like that. They're just tough outs. They're rough guys, and he lands a good combination there. And I think what he's looking to do now is try to win the second half of this round, because the first half of this round definitely belonged to DJ. And there's a good, that's the best punch that DJ's landed all night. That good straight right hand.
It took him 5 rounds to do it, though. And Valdez from a rough area of Colombia. You're right, does send money back to the family. And this is an example of fighting your way out of the streets.
Literally.
Had to leave Colombia, as he said, for safety reasons.
You know, when you move to South Central LA,
Yep.
you
And
know
it's safe.
that the place you lived at was pretty rough. Better round for DJ as he catches a good right hand left hook at the end of the round. Cutman's doing a good job on that. I just wish they wouldn't use an abrasive towel on a cut above the eye. You're always better when you use a soft, sterile gauze pad. But they're doing a good job. It seems to be irritating him a little bit less, and it looks like he's caught his second win as we enter the 6th round. And we go to some highlights. There's that straight left down the pipe, and as you can kind of tell, Valdez's posture is starting to get a little bit upright. But that doesn't mean he's not coming full steam. And Valdez closed the round with a good combination. I just don't know if it was enough to win him the round.
Millions.co.co is where you're watching it tonight. Good action-packed card from BMG Promotions. Yeah, Thunder Studios in Long Beach. This is a real good fight. Brandon Valdez in green, 15-6 at 7 stoppages, but he's lost his last 3. Undefeated top prospect DJ Zamora, 16-0, was cut in the 3rd round. They did a good job controlling it, but now is DJ giving away too many early rounds.
But in a 10-round fight, he can work his way back in the fight. One thing I noticed about the trend of this fight, whoever wins the first minute or the first 30 seconds seems to control the round.
Yeah.
Brandon came out and started doing some of the things that he was doing in the 3rd and the 4th round, and he's pushing DJ back a little bit.
And you like that though, because you're the youngster, you're undefeated, you have to put your authority up there, right?
Well, at some point you got to draw the line in the sand, and here's the thing that I don't like that DJ's doing. He's letting himself, he's accepting going backwards. When last round, he was able to establish that center of the ring, and he had a lot more success, just like that.
There it is. That's where he wants to be.
And his face is not just with the cut and the swelling under the right eye. He's got a little bit of swelling under the left eye. I don't like that move that he does where he almost drops down to the ground, because if you get hit with a punch there, you don't have much margin for error for your balance, and it could be scored a knockdown.
Now Zamora has 11 stoppages. Is that real power?
No, he's not what you consider a big puncher. He's probably going to get volume, the quality of the opposition, because he hasn't done anything yet. I say the word yet to get Valdez off of him.
He's coming into that man strength of his.
Yeah, Valdez definitely already has his man strength.
Because the knockouts for Zamora were early on in his career.
And you see that a lot the first 10 fights.
Yeah.
As you notice, Valdez is bending at the waist again, and then when he's coming up, he's throwing. I just think DJ's being a little bit too passive.
So what should he be doing for DJ?
He should be doubling up his jab and pushing Valdez back. Get him discouraged, and he's got to throw something to get Valdez off of him. 'Cause
Well,
right
there's
now,
nothing for Valdez to say, I'm scared of anything.
I mean, look at his body language. He's coming forward, he's sticking his tongue out, he's bending at the waist, and he's throwing those kind of shots that he's had effect with. They're not textbook the way you draw them up, but he's very physical and he's landing something. Just like right there, that right hand. And I guarantee you, DJ's took more right hands tonight than he's probably taken in his entire career.
Absolutely. I mean, his last fight against Castaneda was one-sided. He controlled that. Final seconds of round number 6. Good back and forth in our opening bout between DJ Zamora and Brandon Valdez.
Good close of the round for Valdez. A good veteran knows how to, I'm not going to say steal rounds, but they know when to punch. Here we go to some action. DJ trying to maintain that range, but he's just not doing enough, and he landed a good uppercut there But Valdez is very content setting his feet and pushing DJ Zamora back. He's comfortable. But he is getting hit a little bit more as the fight wears on. Good right hand. As you notice that Valdez is kind of using his bending of the knees to get offline and to land that right hand. He's found a home for that right hand, Beto.
He found a home for that the first minute of the fight, and he has not stopped. Like, we're not keeping score here, but unofficially, the eye test tells you that Brandon Valdez in the green is controlling this fight.
Yeah, we're not keeping score, but my eyes tell me it's no worse for him than 3-3 and most likely 4-2.
Because the bigger shots have landed by Valdez in the green. But like we were talking about Valdez's upcoming and the career that he's had, fighting undefeated fighter, and he's given them brawls, and he's made it tough, but he just doesn't have that extra to get over the top. Could tonight be the one?
Yeah, he doesn't. He hasn't shown that he's had that next level gear against really good opposition. But the other fights that I've actually worked and I've actually seen with him, he starts to leak oil right around the 5th or 6th round. Tonight he's not leaking any oil.
You just said at the end of the round about closing the round strong. This is about closing a fight strong if you're Valdez. Don't let DJ gain any kind of confidence.
Absolutely, and here's the thing that he's doing. He's staying active enough. The harder shots each round, whether he's winning the round or not, have been landed by Valdez. And when you see a fighter go back to the ropes, and he's not going to say stumble, but they get out of defensive posture, the judges may see that the guy's actually doing more than he is.
Rudy Balagan, Fernando Villarreal, and Dr. Lou Moret, the judges tonight. Veterans in the Southern California fight scene.
One of the things that Brandon Valdez is doing is he's throwing more jabs tonight than I've seen him throw, and he's doing something that I love the fighter to do.
How about that right hand, Michael?
Yeah.
Set up by the feint.
Set up by the feint and set up by the jab. The better you can jab, the better you can feint.
I've known Brandon for a few years now. I didn't even know he had a jab.
Yes.
It was an idea to him. He's boxing tonight, Mike. He's not brawling.
When he's being just physical enough as well, that he's imposing his will, and he's definitely a much more physical fighter than DJ. DJ's coming into that man strength, and Brandon's had it for a few years. That's probably the first feint that I've seen DJ Zamora do all night. The only thing is he didn't punch off the feint.
You've been saying that since the opening bell, Mike. You want to see more activity, double up the combinations, throw punches and bunches.
Here's the thing though, when you let your hands go, you become a little bit more defensively vulnerable, just like he did there. And sometimes subconsciously, guys will not let their hands go or sit down on punches because they know that the fire is hot in there. And the fire is definitely hot tonight with Brandon Valdez as he lands another right hand.
Trinidad Vargas, Dominic Gonzalez coming up next. Still have Stephen Navarro, Joseph Sevilla, Taylor Beltran, and Eric Mondragon. 13 fights total for you here at DMG Promotions. And it's opening up hot on Friday night.
Another good close to the round from a scoring standpoint by Valdez, who actually is starting to get a little bit of swelling on his right cheek. Great job in the corner. They definitely got the cut under control for DJ Zamora. Like, people got to realize the cut's not going to go away, but the flow of the blood is definitely under control. As we go to some action from round 7, Valdez right up on his chest. And every time they exchange, Valdez seems to be getting the better of the harder punches, and he's usually ending that combination with a good right hand. DJ Zamora definitely does not want to be on those ropes. These last 3 rounds, Beto, I think he needs to maintain that center of the ring so this fight does not slip away from him.
Like, I think the fight is slipping away from him. You're heading in the 8th round. If you're Zamora, again, the unofficial eyes here, it's been Brandon Valdez controlling it. Brandon Valdez landed the bigger shots. Brandon Valdez cut him, mind you, with that headbutt. But the bigger shots that the judges probably going to reward are from Valdez. And there's a good shot from Zamora. but one at a time. So if I'm Zamora, I'm thinking north corner. You got to
gotta
put some
do-
pressure, right?
He's got to do just that, just like you said about the pressure. He needs to start backing Valdez up because Valdez is not as good. He's not as good defensively moving backwards.
This is the fight that Valdez wanted. Stay in the middle and don't box. Let's just brawl.
Well, here's the thing: when you're controlling the center of the ring, you're moving forward. Your legs are not going to get as tired as when you're moving post to post. And there's another good right hand. I can tell you from experience.
Another solid right hand from Valdez. Mike, he has hit that over and over tonight.
Yes, he's found a home for that. He's throwing it at the right angle and just at the right time. And people don't realize when you're moving post to post, moving backwards, you get tired. I don't care how good shape you're in. Right there is what DJ needs to do, but he's got to be a lot more authoritative with that front hand, with that jab. Good left hand, but then again, it's just one at a time. One at a time is not going to keep Valdez off. You got to get his attention for something that he knows that there are sharks swimming in them waters.
Last time Valdez won was in 2023 at a show in Tacoma, Washington. He went the distance, got 10 rounds out of it.
And this is where DJ does not want to be, because this is where Valdez flourishes. That's probably the best inside combination off the ropes that Zamora has thrown with a nice, good left hook to the body. That definitely got Valdez off of him. And that's what he needs to do.
Momentarily, because Valdez came right back at him. Valdez's hand's really low, Mike.
You know, but he can get away with that from far away, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Zamora's moving backwards. Zamora's moving backwards. Another good right hand. This is where how he's been closing out the last part of the rounds.
In the corner, 30 seconds to go to round number 8. DJ rolls off the ropes. Now they're in the middle.
And what does the optics tell you there? By the crowd reaction. Even if he didn't land every punch, he's in control of that action.
These trial horses can be tougher than a $2 steak, Mike. Did I say it the right way?
Yeah, they're like chewed bubble gum.
Be careful with them. Don't let them hang around.
And once again, for about the 5th round in a row, Valdez closes the round, Beto, with punches. As you can see, the good crowd here at the Thunder Studios in Long Beach. Zamora trying to keep the center of the ring, landed a good 1-2. But this is where he does not want to be. Every time he gets on the ropes, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 times, he's gotten the worst of those exchanges. And basically, Beto, he's letting Valdez fight downhill. Valdez hasn't had a lot of opportunities in his career the last couple of years to fight downhill. And this is how Valdez closes the round. And he's keeping a nice close guard right there, and he's this much physically stronger than DJ Zamora.
Our opening bout, round number 9. Mike, you were saying that this is the part where Valdez leaks oil, right? This is going to be a question of conditioning, because the last round he had his mouth wide open. He opens up this 9th round wide open, gasping for air. So that's the big question for Valdez, is the conditioning. And can Zamora do something to pull away?
Well, I think knowing that he only has 2 more rounds, he only has to sit in that stool 1 more time. And I think a lot of the times him opening his mouth is just kind of a bad habit, because I think he's actually posturing, gesturing, and maybe doing even a little talking to Zamora. And he's been moving forward the whole fight. He hasn't been in duress for multiple rounds or multiple times.
I like what I see, and so do you. You can tip the fighters at millions.co, millions.co. When you're watching this fight right now, this stream, you can tip the fighters, and they will appreciate it. And they're putting it on the line for you. That's old school right there. Remember, Mike, you would go to the fight, you told me about himself. So we go to the judges' scorecards. Rudy Barragán, Fernando Villarreal, and Lou Moret will decide the fate of DJ Zamora and Brandon Valdez.
It was a great fight to open the night. I hope the judges get it right.
So what? Again, we didn't keep score here. What does your unofficial eye have?
At worst case scenario, I think it's 7-3 for Valdez. I could live with 6-4. Anything other than that, I'm going to be disappointed.
I'll tell you what, the corner of DJ Zamora, not exactly jumping up and down over there.
No, and I think, you know, there's a lot on the line. Every fight means a lot to fighters. You got two legendary Hall of Famers that drove out to Vegas to watch you fight. You fight under the top-ranked banner, and it doesn't get any better than Bruce Trampler or Brad Goodman.
And they know about this because he's fought on the top-ranked bubble back in the COVID time.
Yes.
So they know exactly what he is. And our ring announcer, Chad Fishburne, has the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Rudy Barragan scores at 98-92. Judge Fernando Villarreal scores at 99-91. And Judge Lou Moret scores at 98-92. All for your winner by way of unanimous decision, DJ the War Machine Zamora!
I'm sorry. And you can hear the booing of the fans. If I was in the stands right now, I would be booing as well. I'm sorry. Some of those judges I know, one or two of them are my friends. DJ Zamora did not win that fight. He's going to watch this broadcast. He's not going to like what you and I say. I almost think that they read those scorecards wrong.
Mike, the way it came out, 98-92.
How about
99-91? You only gave one round to the kid?
I mean, what was the round they gave him to when he almost knocked him out?
And you see more. Great job by our replay truck.
Our replay did a great job.
All the highlights are of Valdez.
Yeah, it kind of ruined to me. It ruined what such a great fight that it was. And I don't want to take anything away from DJ Zamora.
No. It was a great learning lesson for him. But Mike, that was not a 99-91 fight. For either fighter.
No.
For either one.
No. And I'm not judging it. We're just going by the eyes of every round. Who would I want to be? And I would have rather been Valdez every round than I would have Zamora. As we take a look at a lot of the good action. Now Zamora did land some good jobs, but he spent a lot of that fight with his back against the ropes. But 99-91, you know, when I heard that score 99-91 and 98-92, I really thought, you know what, the judges got it right for Brandon Valdez. And that's really